welcome back to Winner Go Home podcast number 2 via Game 7 Entertainment.
Yes, sir.
Introduce
Game
yourself.
7 Demo in the building.
Game
Yes,
7
sir.
Pat.
Yes, sir. Game 7 Rob.
Yes, sir. We're going to get straight into it. Never going to waste your time. Milwaukee Bucks versus Orlando Magic was the first NBA Cup playoff game, you could say.
I'm going to just say, off rip, when I made my prediction, Franz Wagner was healthy. So don't come for me in the fucking
That is true.
comments.
You said the Magic.
valid.
You said the Magic was we're gonna.
I went 0
win.
for 4, bro.
Oh man. Yeah.
It
happens though. It happens, man. The
ball didn't bounce my way.
Yeah, the ball did not bounce your way, man.
See, I don't even
And you
remember that
thought
day.
some injuries were happening that didn't happen, and
Man,
so
you can't predict injuries before they happen.
Yeah.
But you can't predict if a motherfucker's going to stay injured or not. When the fucking website says he's not going to play.
yeah, Draymond ended up playing in the Warriors game too. I don't know. I mean,
But then, it's whatever, bro.
But it was an ugly game. It was not a pretty game to watch. It was kind of some ref ball keeping the Magic in it for a lot of the game. We felt like, at least when we were
Yeah.
watching it. Like I didn't feel like the Bucks really earned the win as much as they just gritted it out and got it at the end, kind of on some Giannis is the best player on the court type shit. Like, so someone has to win the game.
Like, even Dame had a quiet game.
Yeah, Dame didn't
Like,
have a huge game.
Maybe if I go back and look at the numbers, he might have had like 29 or something. I don't know.
I think Giannis had like 39. I think he
Yeah,
was carrying the ball.
It didn't feel like Dame had that
That's
much.
crazy.
Yeah, Giannis was really he was doing his thing, man. He was
Shut the
he-
fuck up.
I think that's what I had predicted. He was going to be like the powerhouse, just try to
Yeah.
put the team on his
No,
back
that's
and run through him.
bro. I mean,
But
that's
I
definitely what he
did not
did.
watch that game. Yeah, I did not watch that.
But I mean,
Keep it real.
bro, keep it a buck with you on this one. You, yeah, to keep it a buck, which pun
Yeah.
intended, you didn't miss much in this one.
I'm here.
To be honest,
It was to be honest
what you mean?
man, we just doing all puns. Yeah, you didn't miss much, man.
Okay.
It was kind of a boring game. We thought it was funny that Jamal Mosley was saying every time he was getting
Bro,
Jalen
Jalen
Suggs,
Suggs.
bro. Yes, you want to talk
my
about it?
God. So, Jalen Suggs, a notorious volume 3-point shooter. of
Notoriously.
course. Like, that's
Leader
his,
of the
That's
team.
his bag, bro.
That's what he
Shoot
does.
A lot of threes. And even the ones that aren't wide open. That's
Yeah.
his, like, you know.
That's obviously what he does.
That's what he does. Like,
So-
he's the face of the Orlando Magic.
he was
So
forced into it.
He put up a 3, and it did not go. But Jamal Mosley, they cut. It was
Yeah, they
it was
cut to
awesome.
him quick. Yeah, it was some
They
good
cut
TV
to him
producing.
as soon as that shot went up. He's went every time.
Every time, just keep and
That's going
And
to
he,
mess with my
he
Lo and
tried
behold.
to do that shit every time.
lo and behold,
He
every
missed.
single time down the not every time. Sometimes he would
He
hit
was
one.
hitting some of them. He had like
He had a good one.
18 for
Yeah.
him in the fourth quarter
Okay.
at one point.
Yeah, he caught
He
fire
might have
at
finished
one
with
point.
more.
Yeah, he definitely caught fire at one point, but it was very much their offense was just Jalen Suggs take the ball down the court and try to figure something out.
I feel you.
And
And when it wasn't Jalen Suggs, it was Anthony Black. My fault for saying D'Anthony. I was putting him together with D'Anthony Melton. It was Anthony Black.
yeah, and he
Or-
was.
They even had Cole Anthony out there, bro.
Oh, at one point they did have Cole Anthony.
And
out there. They
he's
stopped.
like-
They put his ass on the bench quick.
Yeah, he's their DNP usually.
Yeah, they put his ass on
He's
the
their
bench
DNP
quick,
is
man.
crazy.
Like Jalen Suggs was playing a lot of minutes. They were just trying to run the offense through him, and I mean, you can expect the outcome is probably not going to be a win. No disrespect to Jalen Suggs. In his role, he does a very good job. But when you try to force him into being a star player, we kind of see that that's probably not what he's going to be.
I mean, yeah.
He's a
especially
good
if you-
Marcus Smart. He's not a good Steph Curry.
Yeah,
Especially if the two people that's going to shine next to you are injured. Yeah, that's pretty tough.
yeah. Once the two stars are injured, there's
With the same
not a lot.
fucking injury, like,
really,
huh?
it's
Yeah.
the same injury. Wow,
That's pretty nuts.
I
That
didn't
is
even
pretty
know
nuts.
that. That's
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. Someone put the Paulo injury tweet next to the Franz injury tweet. It's the same injury.
I actually
Fuck
think
y'all got going on in Orlando injuring the same fucking, like, that's got to be a training issue.
that's what I saw
That's
was
valid.
they gotta hire better trainers in Orlando. I just saw a tweet like that, but I didn't know why I thought they were just saying it because of the injuries. But that's crazy. Like the same
But
muscle.
did they both get injured like in game, or was it like
Nah.
maybe a practice type?
It was
of
like
situation?
at practice. Like, it
Wow.
was just like,
So,
at
yeah.
least Franz got injured in
Yeah.
practice.
So yeah, they're doing something like
Some type of training that is not good.
yeah.
Or their courts just fucking
Ooh, that's actually that's a good thought. Like that, the court's like just old and dusty.
Yeah, because
Like practice court, that could totally be.
Like I know it's a different
That
sport,
court
but
got
even
Shaq
in
sweat in
football,
it.
like some people may have like a turf and some people have that grass, and some people like bitch and complain about the difference.
No, it's for sure. In basketball, if you have an old court in like Orlando, it's humid too, so like the court can get fucked up, in humidity. So I mean, that could totally be.
Imagine they got a fucking rubber court in the practice facility.
Bro,
Ain't no fucking way.
Hooping on rubber. If anyone knows, man, hooping on rubber courts has to be. I don't wish it on anybody.
Nah, but you
It's so horrible. It's slipping and sliding. It's a different game though. It like turns into a whole different fucking game.
You gotta wipe the dust off your shoes twice as often,
bro. It's not even worth it at some point. On some courts, bro, it's dust everywhere, man. It's horrible.
Slippery ass concrete courts outside, bro.
Hey, that's better than, bro. You don't know about the rubber course like that, then, bro. You think concrete's worse than rubber?
I mean, it depends, because concrete's always gonna be concrete. I prefer concrete over some rubber, but I'm talking about that slippery, smooth shit where it's like there's like no.
Oh, smooth concrete.
Yeah,
I kind of know. I do know what
concrete,
you're talking
you know
about.
what I'm
It's almost the same thing,
Where
but
it's
at
like-
least the ball bounces naturally.
That's valid.
Like
That's
on a
valid.
rubber court, it's a weird bounce because they try to make it bounce like hardwood, where it takes some of the bounce out of the ball.
I hear you.
But it doesn't work the same way. It's very inconsistent.
I can't remember the last time I've hooped on rubber, if I ever have hooped on rubber.
It's usually like
Middle school courts.
Yeah, it's like on some like you
Money
probably shouldn't even built a basketball court here anyway.
Hey,
Alright.
but
Oh yeah.
shout out Goga Bitadze because he was
facts, we definitely gotta talk about
soldiering
him.
through. Like you could tell at multiple points in the game that his ankle was messing with him.
Yeah, he got hurt a little earlier in the game. It was like first quarter, second quarter.
He still played the whole game.
That's facts.
That's some dog.
I know. Yeah, Goga's quickly becoming kind of one of the pod's favorite players, man. Like
He's just a nice ass piece, bro.
He really is, bro. And he's underrated. He doesn't get talked about as much as he probably should.
And the more that Zion ends up shitting the bed as a number 1 overall pick, the more that picture of all the reporters at Zion's table and then no one at Goga's.
It's like, man.
It's like maturing like fine wine.
Because Goga's actually, like hooping, man. And
Yeah,
Zion's not even on the court.
There could be a day where Goga Bitadze is a more valuable piece than Zion Williamson, which is crazy to say out loud.
It doesn't sound right. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
but it could be at this point, like it's still. I feel like it still could be the opposite. Like Zion could still become a way bigger name. Like if he just gets off the Mountain Dew.
And the Instagram models.
body, yeah, that shit crazy.
Stop watching Naruto, start watching something that has more of a training arc.
He's like, I thought
So
training
watch
was
some
supposed to
Karate
take
Kid
like
or
a
some
couple
shit,
episodes, man. Fuck.
Wax on, wax off. Fuck.
Wax on, wax off.
You need to watch Rocky.
Dun, dun.
Some Creed, feel it in you after you watch that movie. Like, fuck, maybe I should go get back in my bag.
He's gonna be motivated to train after he watches Creed. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it.
He's gonna watch Creed, and the main thing he's gonna notice is, damn, he got a bad bitch.
And she don't even know how to hear.
It's because he trains. And she don't even know how to hear. Nasty work. That is her defect, you could say.
His defect is fucking soda and IG models. Anyways.
Hey, living the good life, man. OKC beating Dallas. Man, I think Dallas looked good this game, but OKC, man, they got that fucking lockdown defense and they can rebound. They out-rebounded Dallas real well in this game.
And I feel like they also shot better from the three. It's
did.
that Curry effect, man. Got everybody shooting threes.
That is, but a little bit like fucking 6 years later.
Yeah.
Like now it's just everyone, like every single team. Like even it was a 3-point shootout.
Like wasn't the whole the
more than 6 years later, about 8 years.
The first couple of possessions were just like them chucking up some shots.
The game opened with like 3 3-pointers or 4 3-pointers, some shit like that.
And I think the Warriors. I think the Thunder kind of realized that they had a better in-between game, and once they realized that, they just went to work. They just started playing lockdown defense on the three, getting the board, and then hitting that in-between game that they were better at.
Getting out and running because
they're younger than the
and
Mavs.
Still no shit. Or Chet, my
Man
fault. I
said
still call him Chet.
No shit. Yeah, still no Chet, but they got Hartenstein now and Caruso. Man, Caruso's been hooping, man.
Yeah.
So
he hadn't been shooting that three all that well this season, but he knocked a couple down last night.
And he's still doing that Josh Hart type of thing where he's getting those hustle boards.
Or the other night, I should say.
Yeah, he's getting those hustle boards where that's
Ethical
why
boards.
that's why they're winning in the rebounding department. They have, besides just their big man trying to get rebounds, they have everyone else trying to get rebounds as well, and that makes for a big difference.
100%.
And I mean, when you're just doing in a 3-point contest, those little things are gonna pay big dividends, and eventually the Thunder win by a decent amount, like a healthy amount, even though the game was kind of back and forth.
Yeah, it came down to just who had more energy at the end. You know what I'm saying?
The Mavs
ultimately.
The Mavs did not. Like, it was kind of painfully obvious.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they maybe just knew by the fourth quarter, hey, maybe this isn't our game, and we should just like not go for playing an extra game and tire ourselves out this game. So we should just let it ride. Maybe they were thinking that, but it didn't look like they were trying as hard as they should have been.
Yeah, or maybe they just got burnt out early. You know what I'm saying? Like Kyrie and Luka in the first half going out there doing their thing, but then it's like in the second half, it's like you can still do your thing, but it became more of like the other pieces. Like Dinwiddie was getting his. You know what I'm saying? There was other people getting theirs. So it's like it wasn't just focused on like the two
actually, Luka had kind of a subpar game for Luka.
He was in that torture chamber.
Yeah, that's what it was. Dort wasn't hitting the threes very efficiently, but
not till the end of the game.
Oh yeah, he was hitting them at the end. You're right. Him and Isaiah Joe both kind of went back and forth with each other. But yeah, Dort is that defensive menace, man. Like that's if you want to talk Marcus Smart, man. That's Lou Dort now. Lou Dort's I think taking that crown of.
In a league where offense is so much more important than it was like in the 2000s, I would say he's like the modern day equivalent of a Tony Allen.
Damn. Yeah. Because Tony Allen could shoot a little bit, huh? Like, just a little bit. Like, not good, but, like, he can make some every once in a while. Like,
he was a good cutter.
Oh, okay. He couldn't shoot. I'm not. It's a little bit before my time.
If he started, like...
I saw a little bit.
If he started rolling, then he could maybe, like, hit some mid-ranges, like...
But he wasn't.
Like, it is a good night for Tony Allen if he hits a three.
It was a different game also. Like, he didn't need to hit the three.
Because it wasn't like every team was game planning to shoot the three.
Yeah, to have a 3-point contest like we saw with the OKC and Mavs. Not every game turned out like that, but it seems like almost every game in the NBA turns out like that. Do you think that has anything to do with, like, the ratings?
I do, yeah. Because I do see people on the internet complaining about like that one clip from that Suns Lakers game from a week and a half ago, where there's like a minute and a half, 2-minute sequence of the Lakers come down within the first like 5-10 seconds of the shot clock, put up a three, it's off. Get the offensive rebound.
I did see this.
Put up another three, it's off. Suns get it. They come down. Off of the transition, Brad Beal pulls up for three. It's off.
Just fucking
like
man.
Just a bunch of bricks. And
it's hard to watch. It's not. Yeah, that's not satisfying or entertaining basketball whatsoever. Like that satisfying basketball to watch, in my opinion, is you can take threes, but like working to get that open three is really what's satisfying about it. You know what I mean? Not just jacking up shit.
Not just looking for like threes so heavily to the point where everyone on the court knows that it's going to be a 3-point shot.
So they're just guarding your perimeter. Yeah.
Because then, like, you can blow by if they're over guarding on the three, but then now everyone is trying to either get threes or layups, so it's like teams know defensively that if one person gets blown by, you really just got to rotate down to the rim.
I agree.
Yeah. And it's like guys like Shea, Luka, Steph, LeBron, Kyrie, like the guys that KD, Tatum, like all those superstars / like borderline superstars, they're allowed to take as many mid ranges as they want.
Yeah.
But like
that's
role
one
player,
of their go-tos. It's not so much. Yeah, you don't want maybe Najee Marshall, but that's about it.
Yeah, like you don't want and you don't want, talking specifically about Dallas. Yeah, Clay can take a mid range, but like even with Najee and Dinwiddie, it's like. That could have been a three or a layup, brother.
Yeah, and actually, I don't feel like Najee had the best game eye test wise. I didn't see his numbers, box score, but
they were saying he was playing sick.
Oh, really?
They were saying he was fighting through an illness.
It showed. So rest up, man. I hope he heals from that because it definitely showed in that game like that he wasn't 100% there because usually Najee Marshall is a big piece for them. So. And
another thing that I noticed about OKC is not only do they have the Lou Dort. The Alex Caruso, Shea is a nice defensive piece.
Yep.
Like, they have nice defensive pieces, but in their whole rotation, I don't really think there's a single, like, bad defender.
Yeah, there's no weak links.
Yeah, like, there's no one they have to hide. There's no one that you can really go at and, like when you catch the ball and you see, oh, this motherfucker's on me, like, your eyes light up.
But that's why, like, even if the Thunder aren't even healthy, like, they're still serious contenders, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they don't need a scoring presence at all times. So if one of their scorers go down, like Chet, for example, they can play better defense then. We can lock down.
You know what I'm saying? And look at who they beat, you know what I'm saying? It's like
without
healthy
Chet,
pieces, you know. You got,
which is kind of like what the Magic are doing
facts,
too,
you know?
but they're missing all of their offensive contributors, and that's their biggest criticism on Orlando's roster, is that outside of Paolo and Franz, like, where are the buckets coming from?
And, you know, if Shea goes down, but see, if Shea goes down, you know who it is. It's Jay Will. And Jay Will. And
or J-Dub.
J-Dub, yeah. J-Dub, no disrespect to Jalen Suggs, but he's a much better scorer than Jalen Suggs. You know what I mean? Like, so you're going to like that piece a lot better than
But J-Dub is like their second, that's their Franz.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
And
I agree.
Chet is more like the third option. But yeah, Chet is still a much better offensive third option than Jalen Suggs.
Yeah, even Chet's a better, like, their third option is better than Jalen Suggs. So, yeah, that is...
Yeah,
the
difference.
The difference between
because Orlando were locking up. That's why the game was so close for so long. Is like, yeah, they didn't have any offense going, but they were keeping the Bucks from getting into a rhythm on the other end until the fourth quarter when Giannis was like, okay, let me put on my cape.
And I think it's kind of the trio of young defensive teams with the Thunder, the Magic, and the Rockets. Mm-hmm. I think they all three kind of have the same philosophy. Like, where it's just, we're going to play really good defense and rebound the ball. If we can't score tonight, it is what it is. Like, and that's how they play. And it usually works. It's been working. The Rockets are the second seed. Magic, I don't know what exact seed they are, but
they had that run.
Yeah, like we said, the 14-game winning streak without Paulo, that type of style makes your team adaptable.
And it's a very good counter to, like, teams like the Celtics and the Warriors, where it's like, we're going to shoot a lot of threes and we're going to make a lot of threes.
Yeah, and you can just play on, you see, not to jump ahead, but you see what happened in the Rockets game. They just played the perimeter. And when you can do that against a team that's really hunting the three, it's dangerous.
Now also, what effect do you think that has on the other team and, like, the practice and get ready for this team ability when it's like, okay, well, they're not playing without their starters, but they're hooping without their starters. So it's like, maybe when you have people that you weren't really expecting to, like, step up or now stepping up doing their thing, you weren't necessarily prepared for that, you know?
You're kind of, like, lackadaisical about it because, they don't got Franz and they don't got Paulo.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, they're not going to hoop tonight. No way.
But outside of the refs, you know what I'm saying? It's like...
Yeah, when in the game, I think, okay, here's what I'll say to clarify that take also. Mm-hmm. In the first half, I think the refs were kind of helping Orlando keep up. But in the third quarter, in early fourth, I think Orlando was keeping up on their own. They started to catch their own fire.
I hear you.
But then eventually, like we said, the Giannis was just too much. The Bucks were too much.
Yeah, because who was it that got in? Wendell got into foul trouble at the end of the first half.
Yeah, so it wasn't just straight ref ball all the way. Like
they had the ball didn't bounce their way at certain points.
Yeah,
and so it's kind of crazy to think that without their real own really their only two, like, good scorers, they were still able to go toe-to-toe with the Bucks for, like, three and a half quarters. But it is the Bucks.
And that's what I was about to say. That just kind of shows where the Bucks are kind of at right now. They're not very scary. Like, they can win every game, but you're not scared of them. You know?
Yeah, you don't see Milwaukee on a schedule and go...
and it definitely used to be like that. Like, it used to be like, man, probably gonna lose this one. Like, it's in Milwaukee, I'm not getting that one. Like, I remember it used to be like that.
But also, Chris Middleton is coming back. I don't think he even got a single bucket that game.
That was crazy. It was like the third quarter and it said he had 0 points, man.
Tight, yeah. But, we know who Chris Middleton is when he's healthy and fully in rhythm and 100%.
He just was looking passive, man. It didn't even seem like he got up a lot of shots.
Yeah. It seemed like he was kind of still working on his conditioning.
Yeah, I can see that.
He did ball out. Who was it against that he, like, torched? I think it was the Celtics or the Heat or something. He torched
probably
the team.
The Heat.
Like, coming off, like, it was one of his first games back, and he
was playing well.
Did the thing where he turns into Michael Jordan.
So he was probably just tired.
Yeah, and so he didn't want to, like, exert himself and risk agitating the injury. So he was like, I'm going to just take a back seat unless we absolutely need me. And they didn't, because, Giannis stepped up.
And like I said, man, the Bucks were kind of lackadaisical at first. You didn't know if they really wanted to win the cup. They were kind of like so-so. They were like, if we win the game,
It's like, is this important to y'all?
Yeah, they were playing it like a regular season game a lot.
At first. Yeah, until the fourth quarter.
I feel like most playoff like game is actually this next game is the Atlanta New York. It felt like a playoff game, man. Since the atmosphere was so good, I feel like it helped the players just
and it wasn't just regular season Garden atmosphere.
No,
which is still elite, but like it had that like first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the Garden's turnout, man. Like I'm surprised they were that loud. Like even OKC, no disrespect, they were not as loud as I thought they were gonna be.
Yeah, because OKC does have a good playoff atmosphere.
Yeah, so I thought they were gonna really turn out for the cup, but I guess they got their eyes on, bigger things. So I guess I can kind of understand. But yeah, Trae Young, man, he did what he does, man. He had a shaky start. But eventually they started hitting the fuck Trae Young chance on the free throw line, and
he woke him up.
And they woke him up, man. He really did. He was playmaking well the whole game, and then eventually he started scoring him. Once Trae Young gets into his scoring bag along with his playmaking bag, it is a really like underrated, like kind of like hard thing to stop. Like people don't talk about it a lot.
Because it's like, all right, he's scoring. Let's start taking away his looks. How do you do that? You change the defensive scheme so that he's seeing two. So that you're picking up full court, and that so opens it up for him to dot whoever's open.
And he's so good at just doing the long passes now and just dotting up out of a double team, like you said.
He had that one zip pass.
Yeah.
Who was it?
I think Clint.
It was Capella. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Clint Capella, and we were kind of disrespecting Clint Capella a little bit, and he hooped. Like I was paying attention to him when we were replaying the game, and he was really hooping, man. He was like for an old center that's like relied on his athleticism when he was younger. He's still he's putting in the shifts, man. I understand why he gets some PT.
It's because he's really got the fundamentals down, but it's like just because you're not the best at what you do, you still know what you're doing.
Yeah, you can still contribute. Like
Nick, still a valuable piece.
Nick Batum type shit, just in a different way.
Fourth quarter screaming, why the fuck Capella?
Why the fuck? I mean, yeah. See, in the fourth quarter, I would like Onyeka to be in. I would be screaming, why the fuck Capella?
Yeah.
but
yeah.
What else do you... besides that, the Jalen Brunson thing, Jalen Brunson kind of got locked up.
A little bit. I was talking about how, Trey's going to struggle because they're going to have Mikal and OG on him. But then you made the really good point of, like, it's the same on the other end.
Yeah, it's Dyson Daniels
and Jalen Johnson. DeAndre Hunter can clamp up a little bit when he wants to.
Shoot, too. He
shot. And
I'm glad you mentioned DeAndre Hunter.
I did. Even though I went 0-4 on my, like, who's going to advance predictions, I did call that DeAndre Hunter was going to have a game.
Facts.
And he did. What was it, 25?
Yeah, something like that on really good field goal percentage. That was the real thing. Every time he touched the ball, it was a bucket pretty much. And it was a nice bucket. Like he was getting to his spots. It wasn't just like someone was setting him up. Trae Young was setting him up. It was more he was creating his own shot.
He caught on the left wing. He said, momentum cross, drive in.
They would have not won the game without DeAndre Hunter, for sure. And I was sleeping on him, man. He really opened my eyes this game. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, you were hate watching.
I was, but listen, but that's how you know the performance was good. Is he got me out of the hate watch? He really did. At the end of the game, I was like, you know what? I just got to give it to him. He was hooping.
Yeah.
Like when you're hooping, it's not unless you're a real hater, you got to recognize that he's hooping.
100%.
And then probably the most exciting first overall pick, Zachary Risachet, actually did something.
He did something exciting, and I don't think he even got a lot of buckets after that too, which is the funny thing.
They were like, "All right, we got pretty much what we're gonna get out of Zach today."
Yeah, but it was it was energy. It gave the Hawks team energy, I think. So if anything,
it helped them, especially because it kind of fucked Cat up mentally.
It got in Cat's head.
It got in his head. He spent like 2 quarters trying to get his get back. To the point where when he finally got it at the start of the fourth quarter, it was like, that's cool, I guess, but you've wasted so many possessions trying to do that.
That's why I'm a Cat hater, because it's like, if you really didn't waste those possessions, your team might have just...
He does waste possession, but you know who else? Like, there's other centers that are moved like that, waste possessions sometimes. Like, Alfred Sengun waste possessions sometimes. Like, to play that style, sometimes... It just happens like that. But guards waste possessions chucking up shots.
But to be fair,
you just don't think a shot chuck...
Center.
Huh? Sengun, yeah.
Sengun is an undersized center.
That's true.
So he has more reason to move and then get to that post.
You know what? That is a good point.
Yeah.
That is a good point. Like, Cat can be shooting over people
Yeah, and like he was chucking up some threes in there, and I was like, bro,
he didn't have a good shooting game either.
Yeah, I was looking at that shit like, oh, it's
That's a
cat
good
shooting, and then he made a couple of them bitches, and the other ones I was like, oh, it's cat. And I was like, you see, so it's like inconsistent.
And he got into the foul trouble, which was a little bit on the refs. They were kind of calling some bullshit.
50-50.
100%.
But some of it was like,
and he was losing his cool. Like,
yeah,
yes, the refs were playing a part, but you need to. You
gotta have stronger mental than that.
Lock back in.
Is what Jimmy was talking about.
But I mean, maybe he looks at it as an entertaining thing. Because I mean, I'm not saying everybody in the crowd's gonna be like, "Oh, look, Cat's getting riled up." You know what I'm saying? But like,
there are people like
some
that.
people are gonna be like, "He's getting,"
and
you know what I'm saying?
Zoo York, so
type
like,
shit. So
they
might
gonna
be
get rowdy.
So it's like you need some characters on your team, you know. But to what extent? You know what I'm saying?
But it shouldn't be your fucking second option.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and.
Just like Draymond,
if
for
Clay
example.
had Draymond's personality, that would not work.
It's Clay.
That would be funny as fuck, just 2 Draymonds on the team, man.
But imagine Klay Thompson punching Jordan Poole in the face.
I'd be like, huh?
Just in an alternate reality, what it would be, man.
I would be like, Jordan Poole, you mean to tell me you didn't swing back? Like, bro.
Like, yeah, he's more your size. Draymond's not in your weight class.
I get not swinging back at Draymond. He just gave you a black eye. But
he's not in your weight class. But Clay, you might be able to handle Clay.
That's crazy.
I know that knee wobbly, old man.
Yeah. Leg kick is shit. Oh, my God, bro. Yo, we would see. That's why Clay don't do that shit.
Yeah,
Clay stay in his.
He's just trying to go home to his bulldog.
Because who's gonna step to Draymond?
Look at scaffolding.
Rudy Gobert. Even Rudy Gobert got choked out by Draymond. That's crazy, man.
Nurkic.
Who in the NBA gonna step? Jokic might step to Draymond.
Maybe Russ. Maybe like maybe not an old Russ now, but like.
Nah, I think Russ would still be on timing. He was on timing with Gobert.
But do you think he would win though? Like that's.
Who
like
could actually beat Draymond?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Fight?
Who would like give him a run?
Someone got to sign James Johnson out of retirement.
Oh hell! Oh yeah, that is the clear cut answer. If you want a clear cut answer, who's gonna do it to him? It's gonna be James Johnson.
Damn, bro. But in the league, who's giving him a run for his money, bro? Nigga, Miles Bridges, nigga.
Yeah, bro. You think a dude that allegedly beat on women is gonna be able to beat up Draymond Green?
Fam, listen. If I ain't even gonna say too much. I ain't gonna say too much. I'm gonna hold.
You know who I do think could piece up Draymond actually? Not
Brandon Ingram, low key.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I mean, but it just depends. I've never seen Jimmy really get in a scuffle like that in the NBA.
Yeah, because he knows it's not that serious.
He's a man, you know. He holds his temper.
What about like Terry Rozier or like a Bradley Beal, like some of these like. You know what I'm saying? Type of niggas.
Nah, you said Bradley Beal? Bro, his name is Bradley. His name is Bradley.
They call him Brad.
Bro, you ain't seen that video when he was coaching the kids, bro? You definitely got a little bit of anger to him, dog.
Bro, he was talking to kids.
Man,
what the fuck?
So you named a woman beater and a AAU coach.
And a dude that's real good at talking to kids. Those are the elements you need to fight.
To swing on a guy who's 6'5" but has such a long wingspan that he can play.
What about...
And he's like fat armed, bro.
I feel like Brandon Ingram could give him a run for
fuck with that.
lengthy ass Brandon Ingram.
Low key, because we know Brandon Ingram is on timing.
Yeah.
He would just be like, man, I'm not trying to get into that.
He's too chill for some.
Yeah, he's too chill, bro.
He's too fucking high.
He said, we ain't got time for that shit.
Fake Wiz Khalifa, bro.
Okay, who's the most bitch NBA player though? who like?
We're going on. Hey, we don't got a lot of topics to talk about, so fuck it.
Who you think genuinely like, bro?
The most the easiest lick in the NBA.
And I feel like Dylan Brooks is an honorable mention, but
like a professional lick myself, looking at.
As someone that understands the territory,
we've all been there, right?
We've all been there. I think the biggest lick would have to be
no shade, Peyton Pritchard.
That's what I was about to say. I swear to God, we could have done that at the same time. I was so close to saying nope. And he act tough, so maybe he has a dog in him. But
it's a Chihuahua.
If I had to bet, I would probably have to choose like Peyton Pritchard.
Peyton Pritchard do give me a blick.
Maybe Ty Jerome. Ty Jerome just kind of. No offense.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out Ty Jerome. You're a good hooper, man.
Who's someone that like you would think
I don't
punch but can't, bro?
You could definitely
you know
punch me.
Who else would be a lick? Dennis Schroeder.
Hey, man.
Damn, bro. You remember when he got Dwight Howard-ified, bro? Oh, man.
Him and Kyrie.
His reaction. Bro, yeah, that's what I was thinking about when I said he's probably like
he kind of got bitched by Kyrie a little bit.
Sweet.
Yeah,
and, like,
it is probably
Kyrie's not really the type to like fight someone, so...
Yeah, getting bitched by Kyrie and your name is Dennis.
Kyrie's
like
chill.
2 birds, 1 stone.
And he's German. German dudes are like, you know...
Yeah.
Chill.
I do not see how
But you
a
my
fight could
nigga.
benefit us in this situation.
Yo, hey,
we niggas, right?
And with
I
all due
appreciate
respect,
you for hitting that.
Yeah,
'Cause
that-
we can't hit it.
appreciate that.
Of course, brother.
But with all due respect to all these players, they would beat me up probably. So like, no disrespect to any of these players. Just against other NBA players,
Dennis Schroeder,
you might get your shit rocked.
Nah, Dennis Schroeder's. Everybody else I named, yes, but Dennis Schroeder, bro.
You got
Nah,
Dennis
you know
Schroeder. You
who
got
else?
call him out, box him. Dennis Schroeder.
I-
He wants to win a boxing match.
He said it.
I'm
watch
the
you.
promoter.
Yeah.
He wants to win a boxing match. Like Netflix, like we can get this shit popping, man, anytime.
Shit, we probably gonna end up on fucking Fubu or whatever.
Yeah, like the free shit, yeah.
They're gonna be
Tubi,
like it was Dennis
Pluto.
Schroeder, dog. Like no one's gonna watch
Pluto. Yeah, we're gonna be on the worst bullshit. We're gonna be on
Nah,
Kick.
but
No, we're gonna be
I'm
on
just
Kick,
joking.
boy.
I'll hate aside. I'll hate aside.
I'll hate aside. Oh, you don't want the smoke.
Oh no,
That's
I mean
cool.
I'm still down for
Box
smoke
me on Facebook Live.
type shit, you know.
Get into it. Alright. Houston, they did it, man. They finally beat Golden State after
did it.
15 games.
We did it!
I had
Bro.
a feeling. I think I called it out.
Bro, you might have, because listen, when we did the vid, it said Draymond was going to be out for 2 weeks.
Yes.
It wasn't 2 weeks, and Draymond was fucking playing, so I don't know what that report was about.
On some bullshit.
But Warriors beat writers
They were feeding
they
us
hate
lies.
Houston, confirmed. That's kind
And
of
they said Andrew Wiggins was questionable, and that article was posted an hour before
the game.
the video and the game, the regular
The
season
The regular
game.
season one.
And
yeah.
then that
in the
motherfucker
game.
suited up.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so
Like, I know questionable isn't the same as out, but like...
they were talking about him like he was out.
Yeah.
But maybe they're not as...
And then he didn't play in the... It's like, they told Andrew and Draymond, like, listen, we need one of y'all for each of these games.
Facts.
Because
we're not losing to Houston. We got a streak going on.
we got to keep that streak alive.
Bro, Steve Kerr in the post-game press... I don't know if you saw him after the
I ain't
game.
seen the post game.
Bro, they had to pull it up again. It was the TNT dudes, and they were like, they got done with him his first interview, and they were like, oh, he's still talking? Oh, pull him back up, and he was still bitching about the refs. He was like, I mean, it is just ridiculous. Our guys deserve to win that game. Oh, bro, I was smiling ear to ear, bro. Like, you couldn't, like, understand how happy that made me, bro.
Hey, man.
Let my bias come out a little bit. Steve Kerr, bro, I don't like you, bro. Like, that shit made me very happy.
Shout out to Vince Carter and Steve Kerr for being former players that have given us new NBA memes this year.
Facts.
We got the Vince, and now we got the Steve Kerr.
Oh yeah, bro. Why was he holding that for so? Like, he really don't give a fuck. I gotta respect him in that because he knows and he did not give a fuck. He was like, I know they're gonna make fun of me for this, but I'm so like shocked. I don't give a fuck.
That's
I'm
how
hitting this-
flabbergasted I
Yeah,
am.
I'm hitting this shit anyway. Like, yeah, like it was pretty amazing to see the Rockets actually get a dub. It didn't feel like they were gonna win this game. To keep it a buck with you.
I was telling you to keep the faith, man. Like,
Hey.
it was a close game the whole game, and
It was.
like you were just off of vibes. You were like, nah, we.
Man,
finna
it's
lose.
because we were watching that 2K Statcast and Vince Carter was talking that shit, man.
Bro, they
Vince
were all
Carter
talking
They did not
crazy.
want Houston to win, man. The whole game they were like, man, I just feel like the Warriors are really like, even though they're not up on the scoreboard, they're really winning this game.
Yeah, one of them said it was like a minute and a half left in the game, and it was like a 3-4 point game.
Yeah,
And Steph's coming down with the ball, and he says, "They get a bucket here, it's over."
Yeah, and I mean we forced like two, not to say we, but the Rockets forced 2 shot clock violations back to back, and then I mean pretty much the rest is history. Who hit the 3? The first 3 was hit by Van Vliet. And then
Yeah.
Who hit the Oh, we got free throws. I think it was on. I remember
Off
when
that,
it was
that loose ball foul.
Yeah, so that's what Steve Kerr was about. Like he was
Because I'm not gonna lie, I've seen a couple things on the timeline. They did miss a couple shooting fouls on Steph.
And you know what? That's cool, bro. But if you looked at the type of game that was, and I understand that I'm biased, the type of game that was a very physical game. It was physical on both sides. We weren't getting like a million foul calls either. I would have to look at the free throw numbers, but it didn't feel like we were going to the line a lot. So, I mean, I'm sure there was definitely some missed calls, but it was a very physical game, so that tends to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes the different, like, refs, the line gets blurred between letting them play and just missing calls.
That's true.
100%.
In a game like this, when both teams are fighting for every rebound like they were, like there's gonna be a lot of like iffy moments, like in my opinion at least, like that.
Like, we could probably find a couple of Rockets, like,
getting
getting fouled,
yeah.
but it didn't get called.
Yes, you can do the same.
It comes down to what's best for entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
It is.
You gotta feel the vibe of the game.
And at the
end of the day,
you may even want to throw some controversy in there. So if maybe that
controversy,
you know what I'm saying? So if maybe that call wasn't the right one.
The Steve Kerr meme brought eyes to the game at the end of the day.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's all political and business at the end of the day.
It's a business, yeah.
And so that's where it's like win, lose, or draw. Just have fun.
Just have fun, yo. It's all a business, and that's why I'm smiling about it at the end of the day, because I understand that Steve Kerr really does feel like he got fucked. Yeah. But he was on the other end of that business decision
100%.
a million times, man. So to just see him pay his due a little bit, it's nice to see.
Like, everything comes full circle, man.
Yeah. Everything eventually.
Why do lies sound pleasant but the truth hurtful?
Shout out Jermaine Cole.
Shout out Jermaine's bike.
Jermaine's bike.
Jesus.
So, do you guys have anything else to say about this specific game before we go on to our new predictions?
Really, just like we were saying, the Rockets locked up, bro.
Yeah.
Amen Thompson, or Amen, however you say it. Tari Eason.
Yeah.
And also,
lockdown defense.
As much as he's kind of going through a sophomore slump, or is it his third year? I can't remember.
Who is it?
Jabari's
third, yeah.
It's his third year.
Yeah.
So even though he hasn't taken that third year leap that people are expecting him to take, he was hooping.
Yeah.
Especially first half, he was hitting a lot of jumpers.
I agree.
And I know that's kind of his role, is just play.
That's what he's supposed to do, but he doesn't do it all the time.
He doesn't do it all the time.
Yeah. He was turning the ball over a little bit. That's the only thing I'll say. And honestly, the whole team, that was the biggest problem with the Rockets. The Rockets probably could have won this game. They couldn't inbound the ball sometimes. Oh, the Rockets probably could have won this game by more. I can't even believe it still. I'm still in shock.
I'm so used to losing to the Warriors.
I thought it was 16 straight. But they could have won this game handedly if they just inbounded the ball better. I think we had maybe 4 or 5 turnovers just off lazy inbounding, and it was crazy to see. Even Ime made a note of it in his halftime interview.
Yeah, he was so mad that he did his own halftime interview.
Yeah, he was. I think it really was, because usually he doesn't. Usually, even when the assistant coaches go in for Ime to do the interview, they're just like, "Yeah, we're playing pretty good. We just need to work on some of the little things." They're not even specific, really.
Mm-hmm. Very political.
Yeah, very political answers. So Ime is saying we need to stop turning the ball over on the inbound. Him saying that is we were really having a problem doing that, and it was just laziness. It wasn't anything else, really.
No, honey, I feel that.
It was not fully being in the moment, understanding this is more than a regular season game.
Maybe it could have been nervousness, but I would really hope it would be laziness. Honestly, I would hope it was laziness over nervousness, because we're going to have to get those nerves out if it's nerves, man.
Yeah, because even though at the end of the game, to win it, Jalen Green did hit both of the free throws.
Oh, that was a beautiful moment.
He did seem very tense on the line.
I thought he was going to miss him, but, hey, he smacked him. It wasn't even a bounce, you know what I mean? I saw a lot of Rockets fans on Twitter giving him his props for that, being I think that was a big mature moment for him, and he showed his maturity. He showed that he's not because a rookie Jalen Green is not making those free. Maybe not missing both, but he's not making.
I'm gonna make both.
Yeah, he might Grant Williams that shit as a rookie Jalen Green. So to see his maturity and calmness in that moment was nice to see.
And you were talking about before the game that he looked like locked in, he actually wanted to win.
That's what I've seen from him all this year, even with the inconsistency. He's definitely had more drive than he's ever had. He wants this to be his year that he takes off. For sure. You can see it in his eyes. You can see it in the way he's playing. He's playing with effort. He's playing with a lot of effort on defense, which might lead to some inconsistency. That's something to think about. His newfound defensive ability might kind of cause his legs to be dead by the time he's on offense for some games, playing back-to-backs. So back-to-back, he might not be scoring 20 both games. He might have a 25 and then a 15.
But it's about learning that balance as well, because understanding that you're the number one perimeter option for your team.
That's true. He is.
There are some possessions where defensively you're going to have to not be at 100. But if it's the game plan for everyone to be on go on defense every possession, there's only so much you can do. But even a guy like Shea, who has the potential to be if he was really locked in, he could be first team all defense. He has the tools.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But he also understands that if he does go for that, he's going to be tired on offense, which is where they need him more.
Yep, and that's true. And so he lays off a little bit, just tries to get the steals and shit.
It really just like every team got a role, you know what I'm saying? And that's like as a player, you got to fit that role. You can't like try to overdo it.
I think what you guys might be missing a little bit, or maybe I read this differently. I think Fred VanVleet kind of still wants to be the guy, like not the guy, but he doesn't want to just have Jalen be the number one perimeter dead, like no matter what. Like I think he thinks it's like a split backcourt. Like it's a 1A 1B in the backcourt, and to me. That's good for now, but eventually I really do need Fred to get off this team so Jalen can become that guy. It's like Kyrie and Tatum, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, Tatum was never going to become that guy with Kyrie.
And Amen kind of is looking more and more ready to run point. Because, like...
And Amen doesn't need to be that guy ever. He does everything else.
He'd be a perfect off-ball point guard.
Perfect. And that's, I think, why we drafted him. I think that's the future plan, hopefully.
Yeah.
But y'all got Reed in there.
That's true, and that's the good thing about Amen though is we can put him at the 3 if we want to.
Yeah.
And he can play the 3.
He can play 1 through 4 really.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, Amen is a dog, bro.
Very much.
He is
basketball robot. Isn't that what they said on draft night? That the Twins are like some basketball robots.
Yeah, I think that is what they said, and now everyone calls Amen a basketball robot, bro. I do remember that, bro. And Azar's just not in a good spot. They need shooting, and he can't shoot.
Yeah. So they don't want to give him as much PT as he probably deserves.
I mean,
you would think you should develop in practice, but or just outside of actual.
But games, shooting in practice and shooting outside of the game compared to shooting in game are two different things.
He's just really not a shoot. Like he will become I think he can become a decent shooter, but he's really just not a shooter, man.
Like Amen seems to have a lot more of a shooting touch. Yeah. Not saying he's ever going to be a sniper, but he seems to have it more than Asar.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I agree. All right, do y'all want to? Let me pull up the cup bracket. Which game do you want to do first?
Let's talk about the West first.
Okay, yeah, we did the East first the first time, so I think that's a good idea. Do you want to go first?
So, I'm not gonna do what I did last time, which is just like try to pick the underdog in like half of the games.
It's underdog. Really.
As much as I want to root for the Rockets, it really does feel like the Thunder are gonna get through because they both play a very similar brand of basketball, and the Thunder are just better at it.
Yeah,
they're just better equipped, and they have the experience that the Rockets.
And I think they got in Vegas a day early also, so they have a little bit more rest, and that's a big thing in the NBA. So
huge, yeah.
So yeah, to that point, I think they have more rest. I think we both do pretty much the same things. So it could end up like that Warriors game where it doesn't maybe...
I think it'll be close, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't maybe look like we should win, but if we just pull out some shit, like we could win it. I definitely see an avenue. But if I had to just make a logical bet here, I'm going to go with the Thunder in this one also.
I hear you. I mean, personally, I feel like given what they accomplished against the Warriors, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like maybe initially I did have the Warriors going far, but... I feel like when it comes down to the Thunder, kind of like what you said, they're both like, they have a similar play style. They're both younger teams. They're both really, they can hustle. They're both athletic, So when it comes down to who's going to win, I feel like, I'm going to have to go with y'all. I'm not going to lie with y'all. I'm not going to lie with y'all.
Hey, Rob, what do you feel like?
I feel like the Thunder are going to win.
I feel like the Thunder about to win this bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement on this one, man. We might be all in agreement on both of them here.
Like, they're the top 2 seeds, but that difference between the 1 seed and the 2 seed out west is pretty big.
Yeah, I agree.
It's kind of Thunder and then everyone else.
What about this next one, then? Let's just go over to the next one.
Bucks, Hawks, man.
Yeah, and I think since I went 4-0, I got to stick with my OG picks. And I just got to go Bucks on this one. I think Giannis turns it on now. I think the lackadaisicalness maybe of the first game with the whole team, I think the team maybe gets locked in this time. And it's not as iffy about it now that they're in Vegas. They're like, oh, shit, we're really playing for this $250K. Let's ball out.
I hear that.
So I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks beat them pretty handily here. I actually kind of think this one might not be close.
I agree with that because, I mean, who's stopping Giannis? You know what I'm saying?
Maybe Jalen Johnson.
Not Capella.
Not Capella.
And we were talking about how, like, he was kind of giving Cat flashbacks to his first playoff series. Mm-hmm. So he had a little bit of a mental edge there. Mm-hmm. There ain't no fucking mental edge with Giannis.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I agree. Yeah. Giannis.
And I feel like everybody on the Hawks is just undersized in comparison to Giannis. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine a fast break, Giannis coming at you full speed. Are you going to jump with him?
The only person that could maybe kind of keep up with him is Onyeka.
I think that they might stick him on him.
I could see
that might be the move.
Yeah.
Like, there's probably going to be a point in that game where they run Onyeka at the 4 and Capella at the 5 just to guard Brook and Giannis.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the Bucks have other solid pieces that, I mean, you still probably aren't... You won't have, like, the right pieces to guard a Dame or others. So, it's like...
And maybe Middleton has a good game.
You know
now
what I'm
that
saying?
He had a more, I guess you could say, a restful game.
Yeah.
He didn't really ball out, so there wasn't as much fatigue.
Maybe he was saving the gas.
That's what I'm saying,
for this one. I could definitely see that.
And two, what you were saying, it probably is going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
Got the Bucks.
That's what I got in this one.
So, yeah, I'm going to have to say the Bucks.
Yeah.
As much as Trey is primetime entertainment, and he seems like he actually cares about the cup.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the whole
definitely
Hawks
seems like
team seems like they care about the cup.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think they have enough to stop Giannis and co.
Me neither.
I agree with that.
And, we could be wrong. Trey could have one of those games. That's what it would take, in my opinion, is Trey to have one of those games. Like maybe a 40 piece, yeah.
Like a 40 and 15 game.
Yeah, like one of those crazy-ass games.
Like career legacy moment.
Yeah, he would have to expose Dame.
Yeah, but then you run the risk of Dame waking up and wanting to go back at him because they can both hit that.
Yeah, they probably still
deep.
got. Yeah, man.
Dame got a little bit up in the chamber
game.
still. Yeah,
He definitely has potential to be a fun game. Not more fun than the Thunder Rockets probably, but still a fun game.
The Hawks are fun to watch regardless of how they're
they've
whether
changed
they're
up.
winning, losing, if it's close, if it's a blowout. Like, they play an entertaining brand of basketball.
Yeah, they've definitely changed up from their old ways. I agree.
Shout out hipster looking ass Quinn Snyder.
Oh my gosh, with the red
red frames.
Yeah, bro was looking a little outdated.
There is a Magic City stripper that is lying to him.
There's a Magic
says lying to telling him the wrong things. All right, so I guess we got the same finals, so this makes it a little bit easier here.
Yeah.
So we got Thunder Bucks, man. Who wants the floor first for this one? It's going to be an interesting matchup.
That is a tough one.
Because it's like, who on the Thunder can guard Giannis fully? But then on the other end of it, do the Bucks have enough to score in the minutes where Giannis is out or where Giannis needs to catch his breath?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Thunder are such a complete team in comparison to the Bucks kind of being like, Giannis and then like Dame and Middleton are both past their best years.
Yep.
But you could still see one of them erupting for a lot of points. But then outside of those 2 or 3 is like...
They're going to get locked up, man.
Yeah.
And they're going to get out hustled.
Fear Bobby,
man.
maybe?
See, this is the problem with this, Fear Bobby. The problem with this is... I had the Bucks as my full bracket pick if the bracket was going to work out. So I kind of had to stick with them, but you make a very compelling argument. If I didn't already pick them, I think I would probably go with the Thunder.
So, yeah I'm going to say Thunder.
That's a very compelling argument.
I just think that their depth is going to be too much because,
And they want some hardware, man. These guys, they're hungry for it. I could see that.
Yeah, I can see AAU post-game interviews.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It's pretty much to the same thing you said. I got the Thunder beating the Bucks. It is gonna be a great game. It is probably gonna come down to the 4th, and there's gonna be a lot of lead changes.
Oh yeah, it's a final matchup. I'm sure it is gonna be a pretty. When is that? The 17th. So
refs, y'all better stay in y'all's fucking lane. Let these niggas hoop.
I think by next podcast episode we're gonna have a champion of this. So. We're gonna be
it's
talking
on Saturday is the semis.
And then so I think there's gonna be another game before.
It'll be like Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah,
by the time they
probably
get to the
Tuesday.
Final.
Yeah, so we'll have the final to talk about and recap for you guys, and the semifinals to talk about and recap.
Hell yeah!
So it should be a fun pod.
Yeah. So do y'all want to talk about the Jimmy Butler situation?
Oh yeah, we can end it off on Mr. Jimmy.
That man Jimmy, man.
At first, Shams was coming out saying Jimmy wants out.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to go here, be in Dallas, Houston, or Golden State.
Okay.
And then Jimmy skipped the media.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the
dyed
next
his hair
one,
blue.
Dyed his hair blue. And then in the next one, he was talking about. They said, "How do you feel about being in all these trade rumors?" And he goes, "I like it."
Yeah.
And,
So it's like 3 points of interest.
And he just kept hitting them with the I don't know when they were asking if he's going to get traded. Like, where would he want to end up? He's, I don't know.
But I feel like then, weird about it.
As soon as Shams comes out and says, also, Jimmy would be open to going to the Suns. And that's when Jimmy's agent had enough. And he basically snatched Shams' chain on Twitter and was like, listen, this is the opposite of the truth. Do not trust anything coming out of this guy's mouth when it comes to me or my client.
Shams.
Yeah, and so
got fucked up.
This is one of those moments where we got to see if Shams
got to stand on business.
Yeah, he got to this is a career defining moment cuz not only would Woj not report false information. I saw someone say this. They said not only would he not report false information, if he did get called out like this for reporting false information, he would tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, he'd fire back. He'd be like, no, I got my information right. Shut the fuck up.
So we got to see how Shams is going to react. And we might have already, and I'm just not on the timeline for it.
Shams, he working with ESPN. He got the ESPN job and everything, man.
So
He's the guy.
Here's my 2 questions.
Okay.
First question.
Yes.
Do you think Jimmy really wants out?
I feel like he wouldn't entertain the talk if there wasn't a part of him that wanted in maybe a better organization, hence what he had named. And you could say, well, then why would he want to go to the Rockets? Well, it's like, it's not
That's
about...
his hometown team, too.
Not just that, but imagine putting Jimmy in that rotation and the pieces around him. Then you have a complete team. You have a team that kind of looks like the Celtics, where it's like...
Because the Rockets right now kind of remind me, at least, of how Miami was when Jimmy went there.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, at the beginning, it was like, this looks like a solid team. And then, they went a very long way. So it's like, the same goes for the Rockets, where it's like, even beating the Warriors, y'all are a good team, can go a very long way. And if y'all just add maybe one piece that finds a way to add and not necessarily subtract in any way, then you know what I'm saying? And that could be Jimmy.
Because I was looking at it on the trade
Because why would he want to go to Dallas? He'll be able to get
Luka,
this.
Bro, because they just went to the finals last year.
You could say, yes, I'll go and get a ring, and then, for the ring chase. But
and another
outside
thing
of that,
to think about,
you're not getting your play. You know what I'm saying? And that's
2 of the teams he named are in Texas, where there's no state income tax.
That's what it is.
He wants to get at least half of his check.
Oh shit! I heard that. Hey, that's why I turned my volume off.
So, do you think Jimmy actually wants out?
I would say, like Rob said, he's entertaining it, but I don't know if that rumor did originate with his agent, trying to leak some information to Shams. I think he could have got it wrong, and Jimmy is kind of just either trolling with the media or being like, you know what? That wouldn't be that bad. I could entertain it.
He's a little bit of a troll, with the media day stuff.
Yep, 100%. And I think because of that, you can never say he's taking the media 100% serious, and because of that, vague answers he's given.
Yeah, they said, how do you feel about being in all these trade rumors? And he said, I like it.
Yeah, and he could like that because he thinks the media is stupid and they don't know his loyalty to Miami. It 100% could be that. I'm not saying I think it is 100%, but I am leaning towards that.
I can see that as well. I can see that as well.
I think it's kind of smoke.
Yeah, I think it's media looking for a story because so many teams are comfortable with where they're at, whether they're rebuilding, contending, whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. The only team really that's looking to shake things up right now is the Bulls.
Yeah.
And maybe.
Oh my goodness, a reunion.
And maybe and then not even in the sense of buying, they're selling right now.
They're looking to move out. Yeah, get Levine out. Yeah, you're right. And they've been trying to get Levine and Vucevic out apparently for
every year. It's the same shit, bro.
It's just crazy, man.
Every year.
And they're just gonna have to ride out those contracts. I feel like
I was watching something and they made a good point. They were like, bad GMs used to be aggressively bad. They would go out and do aggressive moves that would make them bad, paying Roy Hibbert the amount of money he got paid. But now the GMs are just passively bad. Mm-hmm. They're just having a mid team so they don't maybe get fired, but they're also not doing anything. The Bulls GM right now. I don't know exactly who he is, but
he's holding on for dear life.
Yeah, he's just keeping his job pretty much. He's not trying to make something happen.
And I can maybe see Charlotte going and getting Lonzo.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
There have been the Instagram story that they posted.
I can't wait for trade deadline.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of where the media is at. Is like we got to get some shit going for trade deadline.
Yeah, it's coming up. Like,
like
comes fast, man. Pause.
And and even if it was
diddy.
just like smoke, like you said, that Shem just saying, it still plants a seed in Jimmy's mind to where it's like, well, shit, maybe I do want out of this.
Yeah, like if I could get out, is Miami entertaining? You know what I mean?
Like it's like, well, are these actual options? Like
Because Pat Riley doesn't want to pay him. It seems like.
Do you think they're done with Jimmy? I think that might be the case.
Yeah, a little bit.
Where else do you go?
Like,
I don't know.
Even if those destinations are like made up by the media, I don't think they're bad destinations.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Houston,
except
Dallas,
Golden State. I don't.
Yeah, for Jimmy especially,
State,
like you could argue
Golden
maybe the
State
team
is where he could go and be himself the most. Like they
I
would,
agree.
they would 100% let him be Jimmy.
Yeah, because that's
let
the
him
culture.
Take the shots that he wants to take, and like he would have the biggest role there. I feel like
Because
maybe,
there's less competition for shots.
Maybe in Houston he'd have a bigger role, but like
Van Vliet's kind of his competition there. Van Vliet and Sengun, and I feel like that's more competition than just Curry.
Yeah,
because
it's kind of
unselfish.
Curry and then everyone else, and Curry would complement Jimmy's game really well.
Curry would want Jimmy to be happy. Like for the most part, it seems like Curry really cares about his co-stars being, getting their shots.
The only person that would be upset would be Draymond.
Yeah, I think that probably is true. Just having two divisive personalities like that on one team
that do such similar things, except one of them does it.
Maybe they would love each other though.
Maybe they would be a dynamic duo defensively.
It would either. There's no in between. I feel like it would either be they would love each other or they would butt heads. Like
I can see that.
Either or, but it wouldn't just be like, oh, they're okay with each other.
I can see.
I don't think it would be like that.
Yeah. So my first question was, do you think Jimmy actually wants out? And then my second question, which we kind of have already been talking about, is where would you want to see him go out of those teams? Or where do you think he'll end up going?
Like your favorite location for
let's
everything?
Let's do like favorite location and then like most likely.
Okay, I'm down for that. What would you want to see?
I want to see him at the Rockets.
And I think that's probably true for me, but a part of me still, like, even as much as I hate on Jabari when we watch the Rockets games, man.
Don't want to give up on him yet.
Because wings, man, they just take a long time to develop, man. They do.
That's true.
And especially long wings like Jabari who have defensive potential. Like, sometimes those type of guys can be huge pieces on championship teams later down the road. And it would really hurt my heart to see Jabari on, like, a championship team that's not the Rockets. And he's, like, hitting threes, playing great defense, getting rebounds, doing the things he knows how to do. It would just it would hurt my heart a little bit.
I can see that.
Yeah, and that would probably have to be the piece that y'all send over.
Yeah, most likely.
To incentivize it for Miami.
Because he could still be something, and Miami would be the place to mold something like that. So he could kill in Miami, and that would hurt me a little bit.
Yeah, I plugged it into the trade machine, and it would be like Jabari and Fred and some picks for Jimmy and Josh Richardson, just so that y'all can get some guard depth back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and Josh Richardson would be an upgrade, in my opinion, from Aaron Holiday.
Definitely,
no offense, who we're playing right now over Reed, because Reed's kind of in the doghouse.
Well, he's going through the rookie experience.
Yeah, and Ime loves to do that. He loves to play his rookies on some trial by fire shit and then bench them pretty much. Like
Cam Whitmore in the G League right now.
Yeah, he's done that to Cam. You hate Cam Whitmore?
He just wasn't. Every time we went to a Rockets game, bro, he was not balling.
I mean, a lot of fans like him because of the way he hoops.
I could see
like
that.
His play style is very.
His play style is likable.
That's why Sebastian likes him.
Inconsistent, bro.
Like Sebastian's a big fan of hoopers.
There's one negative thing I gotta say about Cam Whitmore, and it's like a specific play that I remember where Jeff Green, Uncle Jeff, had a mismatch.
Uncle Jeff.
The LeBron of role players.
Oh yeah.
He had
Guaranteed.
He had a little guard on him in the post, and he's like calling for the ball. And rookie Cam Whitmore's like, nah, watch out.
Waved him off.
And then he drove in on some or he tried to drive in.
Yeah.
And then he got cut off, got clamped. And so then he took this contested step back three, bricked that hoe. I was so mad at him.
That's the block with Cam Whitmore is the maturity. He has a maturity block.
Yeah.
And that's why he's down in the G League instead of someone like Reed who's still on the team, but he's just not playing. Because Reed has at least that is why he got benched. Actually, is he was turning over the ball a little bit more than he usually does. But at least it seems like he really cares about taking care of the ball. Sometimes he doesn't because of ability, but he is really just experience and shit. But he is trying to take care of the ball. He's trying to get the best shot all the time instead of just force shit up.
Yeah.
Sometimes too much to where he's not even shooting his shot, which is also a problem. Because he needs to shoot those contested threes sometimes to be an effective NBA player. That's something he did in college.
I feel that.
Yeah. So, favorite place to see Jimmy go? Wouldn't be the Rockets. It would probably be the Mavs, because I think that would send them back to the finals. Depending on who they send away, that would send them back to the finals.
Yeah, true. I wasn't thinking about
and that would give them a chance against the Celtics if the Celtics were in the final. A chance.
So here's my follow-up question for you. You think the Mavs would give up on Klay Thompson already?
Ooh, that's interesting.
For a chance to get Jimmy?
Because yes, Jimmy's better, but like how much? He's still older, you know.
And it's a worse fit.
Yeah, like I would just keep if Klay had to go, I wouldn't do it. If it was one of the maybe Najee Marshall, even though he's been really hooping, he's more inexperienced. How is Najee Marshall going to hoop in the playoffs? We don't really know. We haven't really seen it. So if you're trying to just get a guaranteed, we know this guy in the playoffs, he's going to turn it on, Jimmy. Like, let's get him. Let's trade Najee Marshall, maybe some picks. You know, get something cracking.
Because you'd have to make the money work.
Yeah, so, you would have to give him like maybe
Who's on their team making a lot of money? PJ Washington? I don't know how much he's making.
That is maybe the guy you would want to give up. And
then maybe I don't know how much Dinwiddie's making.
Man, that is
Gafford.
But it's Kyrie and Luka. It's just having Kyrie and Luka just making so much money, man.
Yeah.
And then at that point, if you're giving up Dinwiddie or Gafford or all those
that much depth,
it's like, bro,
doesn't make it worth it.
No.
Because then that looks like the Dame trade.
You know.
But Jimmy Butler in the playoffs, man.
He is.
But for how long? And then what if it doesn't work this year?
But that's why you don't trade, like, the youngest piece you trade away.
That's why you don't throw Derek Lively.
Yeah, the youngest piece you trade away is maybe PJ Washington.
I can see.
And you gotta really, at that point, I don't know what you do at that point. That's kind of risky, man. But if I had to pick a team, I would pick Dallas. But this is why the trade is honestly kind of unlikely, because when you really think about the logistics of it, there's not a lot of teams besides the Rockets who I don't think want to give up their young core just yet that could do this trade. What would your favorite team be?
My favorite team out of those three?
The Celtics.
Yeah, let's get them. But my favorite team out of those three for entertainment value, not even on some being different shit, I'd probably say the Warriors.
It would be entertaining because you got to see what happens with him and Dre too. That's that's very
entertaining. And then the idea of Curry on a team that is a clear-cut contender but isn't a super team is something we haven't seen.
And they've been playing good. They could maybe shock some people in the playoffs with Jimmy on that team. They could still do it now, but with Jimmy on the team, it's really...
Yeah.
So who do you think they would trade? Andrew?
Yeah, I think with the money he's making, he'd have to be in there. I think they probably want... Well, I don't know... because they weren't willing to go get Lowry because they didn't want to put Pods in there, but after the way Pods been playing, they might be more willing to move him now. Oh my gosh,
I don't know if his value is tanked yet, man.
Yeah, and
you might have to do Kuminga.
Yeah, that might have to be the piece, but that's kind of their future.
Oh my god, the other day,
bro, on the broadcast yesterday they were talking about. Who was it that was saying that he could be the Jaylen Brown of the Golden State Warriors?
I think it might have been Vince Carter, man. I don't want to misquote him, bro, but it was one of the dudes on that panel, bro, and we couldn't see their faces, so we didn't know who was talking exactly, bro, but, man, yeah, they were talking about how Kuminga's the future of the Warriors, and no disrespect to Jonathan Kuminga or the Warriors, man, but that being the future of your franchise is...
Not great. No.
How do you feel about Kuminga being the future? If you're a fan of a team, Kuminga being the leader of the future,
I'd have to become.
Hope Steph doesn't retire until he's 42, man. You hope Steph doesn't retire.
He might not.
He might. That's the thing. You don't even have to really think about a future just yet, really. Steph hasn't slowed down.
Yeah, he hasn't slowed down, and he takes care of his body. He's probably the most in shape guy in the league,
besides LeBron.
Well, yeah,
relative to age,
in terms of conditioning. The ability to run up and down the
court.
But
LeBron at Curry's age, man, was that might have been Cleveland Bron.
Yeah, that's
second stint Cleveland Bron. He was fucking killing it. If we're being relative to age, I feel like they're competing with each other. Because Bron's old as fuck now. It's hard. No offense to Bron, man.
That boy finna be 40.
He's definitely looking
like
older
we gotta
now.
see if Curry when he's like 39 years old is still hooping like he is now, then I'll give it to him at that point. I just have to see a little bit more age because Father Time wasn't catching up to LeBron until like just recently.
I just mean in terms of like stamina alone, because of the way that Steph is always running around the court.
That's true.
Like he's just probably in the best running shape in the league.
I don't know, man.
Maybe a De'Aaron Fox.
I don't know why I feel it's Bron.
We're not talking about speed.
It's
We're
more like
talking
conditioning.
about engine.
Sure.
But it's just because Bron is
motor.
just also just so big, man. Like he's moving around a little bit more weight, and I'm just thinking of like Bron in the finals, man. Like that's peak performance Bron though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like Bron in the finals almost didn't take a fucking day off, or a minute off.
Yeah, he played like 42 to 46 minutes.
He was insane.
Every game.
He was a basketball robot. If we want to talk about some real shit, like that was some robotic shit. Like he was like, they're not gonna talk about cramps ever again.
Lethanos.
Lethanos.
That
yeah.
shit's crazy.
But yeah, like not only does Curry have, we'll just leave it at world class conditioning.
Top tier.
But his game doesn't require as much athleticism as like a LeBron or a Jimmy.
So
there's more longevity.
So his legs aren't gonna die out.
Yeah, like he could, if he's willing to kind of, like if he wants to stop hooping once he's not a star level player anymore, then yeah, he'll probably only last till his late 30s, maybe 40. But if he's cool to become a guy that's just like putting up 18 a game, running the offense, hitting the threes that he can still hit.
He's going to want to get top 10 in points probably. I think he might have a chance at that.
And so if that's the case, then yeah, I could see him playing into his 40s.
Yeah, if he wants to get that point, that top. If he has I'm not for sure, but if he has a chance at top 10 in points, then I'm sure he's going to hoop for that. Maybe even top 5. It's hard to gauge that because you'd be surprised. We
would have to have the numbers in front of us.
You'd be surprised. There's a lot of points being scored by a lot of hoopers, a lot of past hoopers. But what are we on now? So the second one is what would be the best fit? Then I would probably still go the.
Or I said which one is the most likely?
The likely. Oh, okay, yeah, likely. Okay. Man, I'm gonna cop out. I'm gonna say none of them.
You think the most likely is that he doesn't get traded and he just becomes a free agent?
Yeah, I think that. And then maybe free agency, then we probably just have to rediscuss at that point. Like, you don't even know.
I could see that playing out that way as well. I feel like if of those three, there is one that entertains him, after we just discussed about all the picks, it's like the only ones that would probably be willing to like do any leeway. And like you said, the Rockets probably won't even want to give up any of their young core, but I'm seeing it's probably between the Rockets or maybe the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Because
you take the Mavs out.
Yeah, I take the Mavs out because they already have enough pieces to where it's like you look at a Celtics team, they're fit all around. Like you don't want to take anything out of the Celtics team. They're good. They're all good, fit all around team. Dallas is almost in that talk for me. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like they have enough pieces all around.
They have good chemistry too.
Yeah, where it's like if you eliminate anything, even with the addition of Clay, it could
fuck some shit up.
It really could fuck some shit up. And so then it leaves a growing team that has room to maybe add another big piece, such as like the Rockets or Golden State, where you can have someone next to Curry. And like y'all were saying, Curry's not as selfish as some of these other names, like a Luka or something like that. So you definitely won't feel as motivated to go to Dallas, where you could be like, okay, well, if the trade's right, I'll go to Golden State. Or if the trade's right, I might go to the Rockets. So it's between those.
Luka and Kyrie are gonna dominate the ball no matter what in Dallas, even with Jimmy.
I would say the most likely outcome is either that he stays or probably just that he stays and rides it out. Because like I could see, I could see the equal odds between the Warriors and the Rockets, but I still think that him staying and finishing his contract is more likely than both of those things.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I agree too.
All right. Doesn't y'all have anything else to say on this?
No.
I think we're good. I'm good for sure. I mean, I'm ready to see what happens with this cup, man. It'll be interesting to talk about next pod. Hope y'all enjoyed listening. Tune into that next pod to get our reactions. You got a shout out for this pod?
Shout out to Jimmy Butler's agent.
Hell yeah.
Snatching Shams' chain.
Yeah, that's facts, man. Yeah. Shout out to Jimmy Butler's agent, man, for being the first chain snatcher of one of those reporters.
Yeah, that's crazy work.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, man. But if y'all liked Make sure to subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Show some love.
Leave a like on the video. Our goal is 3 likes.
Hell yeah.
I know people say that as a joke. Our dead ass goal is 3 likes.
Trying to hit a 3 with it, you know what I'm saying?
3 likes.
Let us get that shit, man. We appreciate anyone that's viewing this.
And us 3 aren't included.
So really,
3 likes plus
we need
us.
6 likes.
6 likes.
6 likes.
So let's get 6 likes on this video and run it up, man. We appreciate y'all. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. Peace.